So how do we read chord symbols? Well, it's really quite easy. A chord symbol consists of two parts, and the first part is always a capital letter ranging from A to G, and you'll notice that these are also the names of the notes on the keyboard. So this first part of the chord symbol, which is the capital letter, is also the first note of the chord. And this is the most important note of the chord because all the other notes in this chord will be built upon that note. So for example, if we see a capital C, that is a C chord, and the first note of this chord is a C. If we see a capital F, then that's an F chord, and the first note of that chord is an F. Similarly, we could see something like a B flat. So that's a B flat chord, and the first note of that chord is a B flat. Now the second part of the chord symbol tells us what type of chord to play. So are we going to play a major or a minor chord? Now if the composer wants us to play a major chord, there are two ways which he can do this. Firstly, he could write an MAJ to the right of the capital letter, or he could write nothing at all. So if the composer wants us to play a C major chord, he will either write just a capital C, or he would write C MAJ. Now if the composer wants us to play a minor chord, then there are also two ways which he can do this. Firstly, he could just write a small m to the right of the capital letter, or he could write an MIN to the right of the capital letter. So if the composer wants us to play a C minor chord, he will either write CM or CMIN. So now let's put everything we've learned into practice. Here's a small example over here. There's 16 bars, and we see on top of the staff there are some letters, and these are indeed the chord symbols. So let's start on the second bar, and we see a capital C. So that's telling us to play a C major chord in a harmony. This is followed by a capital F, so that's telling us to play an F major chord, which is then followed by another C, so that's a C major chord. And moving on to the fifth bar, the sixth bar, we see another capital C, so that's C major. And then we have an AM, which is telling us to play an A minor chord.